So let's shift focus a bit. One of our key initiatives with our clients this year has been expansion to Walmart. Walmart is an area where we've had clients working or selling on Walmart for years, and some clients saw great success, and some really struggled to see success in the past. But a lot of that's changing. We're seeing Walmart really become the place to focus right now. And I thought we'd open it up to various discussions around what are the things that our clients should be doing on Walmart, and what are some of the changes that recently came about that everybody should be aware of, because how you sold on Walmart even a few months ago is now much different, and the opportunity is now much different. I'm excited for what the future of Walmart holds. I mean, when I look at the fact that I'm a Prime member and I'm also a Walmart Plus member, the fact that I can save money on gas, the fact that I can get same-day delivery on any order over $35 from my local store, I really believe that Walmart's got a lot of opportunity to really grow this whole Walmart Plus membership, and to tie in marketplace sellers as well. That I believe is going to be a big benefit down the road, and we're going to see more and more sales growth come from there. So why don't I'll turn it over to you guys to talk about some of the recent updates. And
actually, before we get into the Walmart specific, I believe it was a Q1 stat I just saw that retail in this country Q1, and I don't remember seeing this in a long time, e-commerce retail in the US in Q1 was down like 4%, and brick and mortar was up 14%. So, everybody knows that e-commerce is the future, and Amazon owns half of it and all that. But, there's a lot of brick and mortar and omni-channel retailers are not giving up.
No, it's here to stay for sure. And I think Amazon's even shown that the best solution is when you have a really strong e-commerce presence, and a really strong brick and mortar presence, because you create that omni-channel experience. And I know that some retailers have quoted that when you have a customer engages both online and offline, that customer becomes 4 times more valuable. Yeah. So it's really the win-win.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just start. Go ahead, Wes. Go ahead.
I was going to say the big things that's changed at Walmart that really, in my opinion, is the game changer is how Walmart has changed the ability to advertise. Prior to April, if your product didn't rank organically in the top, let's just say 130, because the number they throw out is either 126, 128, but 130 just to round it up. If you didn't rank in that area, you couldn't even advertise your item. I mean, even if you were bidding $1 a click, they would not, place you on the, advertised sponsored, ads, because you didn't rank in the top 130. So if you were launching on Walmart a new product, you're having to do something off of Walmart to drive traffic in and drive your rank up. So it made it more difficult. So now that you can advertise product, and also previously as well, if you were on the first page, but let's say you're at the bottom of the first page in rank, if you wanted to advertise to try to push your rank up like we do on Amazon with things, Walmart would suppress your organic rank and only show the advertised rank. And that's changed as well too. So really right now, the biggest, I think, if you guys disagree, jump in, but the biggest downside right now is that unlike Amazon, Walmart's bid is a flat rate bid system.
That just changed. So
did
now
it just change?
It's incremental. So that's the most recent most recent change. That's really I think just a huge game changer. It's really going to open up a lot more opportunity for people to really invest in Amazon or Walmart, advertising, and not feel like they're flying blind. I think previously they were, is $1 where I need to be? Is $5 per click where I need to be? We don't know. Many changes have come about, and same thing with listing quality scores as well. Listing quality scores are constantly changing. So even from week to week, how you had something positioned Amazon or Walmart's going through and saying, you know what, we need to index this field more. So it's affecting your listing quality score. So if you're not paying attention to those things and you're not striving to have at least, I think what they say, 70% of your assortment, 60% or higher in order to be a power seller, that would be, you know, your first goal. But really just trying to push up all of those to the best of your ability really makes a difference. And we talked about that on one of our last webinars regarding the Prosper Show updates, was just how impactful it was when you moved to Walmart WFS and also when you increased your listing score. Those are two things that are really big levers as far as sales growth.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, Walmart's got, I mean, there's other things just to be prepared for if you're not already there is, you know, there are other differences. The reporting is a bit more limited, significantly more limited than what you would get in Amazon.
Sure.
So, you know, you have to be prepared for that. The way things are within advertising, not only what we already talked about, but what I'm a fan of in Amazon is when setting up advertising is using the portfolios. And I remember when they, you know, first came out, whatever, a year or a year and a half ago, you know, it was sort of like, oh God, what a pain. You know, this is going to be so much extra work. But it actually is just, you know, a great way for particularly somebody who's got a big product catalog where you've got all these assortments, but they're still in one product line. And so I typically try to look at things at the product line level, not that we don't drill down, but Walmart doesn't have that concept yet. And so in Amazon, you know, you can have tons of ad campaigns and you can map them to these portfolios / product lines, and they all roll up. And then it's very easy to look at your product line level. And Walmart just doesn't offer that. And you get this list, you know, you can't break things out into product lines or brand versus non-brand. And so you end up having to set things up in such a way that, you know, you can like look at the naming convention and see what it is. And, you know, it's just some things to look into before you set a whole bunch of stuff up. I mean, even the simplest things where, you know, for whatever reason, you know, one account that I work with in there, you know, we've always historically, again, I don't even remember the reason, but our weekly reporting has always been, you know, Saturday through Friday. Well, you can't even do that in Walmart. You have to do a calendar week. So, you know, not to say, you know, you shouldn't be there for these reasons. There's just a lot of idiosyncrasies that you really need to understand before you start to set things up.
I know, prepare yourself. Did you ever think that you would hear this? We've been a little spoiled by the Amazon Seller Central experience.
That's true.
So, but no, I totally agree. And, you know, but there's workarounds, right? I mean, you just have to, you know, is it going to be the way that you're used to it in Amazon? Not yet. But like Steve was saying, I mean, I you know, especially with the bid information, I mean, I can't be more excited about the opportunity at Walmart now. And we covered this in a webinar previous. Steve, if you know the week, let the audience know so they can go watch it on Facebook or download it or whatnot. But it's a different audience, you know, so we don't want to utilize, Helium 10 or Jungle Scout data from Amazon and I'll just apply that to Walmart, because as we've seen, it's a very different audience and what they're looking for and how they're searching on Walmart. But still, Walmart's always improving their reporting that we can dive into. I know we had a call with a Walmart advertising expert on the Walmart from Walmart, and he was pushing me to do things in more of an automated campaign format versus doing the more granular campaigns that at least I like to do on Amazon. And so that was very uncomfortable for me because I like to have one variation per campaign and control all these things. And he was like, put all the same style stuff, even different brands, in one auto campaign. And of course, but he's giving advice based on how their algorithm works at the moment, which it does perform better overall. But there's little things like that. But again, it's coming along, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, one of the most noticeable things, I mean, Steve started out by talking about the list optimization scores where you go under, growth opportunities, and it's very, in some ways, it's very similar to Amazon's listing quality report tool. But Amazon's tool seems to me that it focuses a lot more on attributes. You didn't put in the unit count, all the various attributes that are often used for the filtering, things like that. But it seems very attribute driven. If you go into Walmart, it's much more listing, so the attributes are really more back end. The Walmart tool is very focused on the front end, which is, what they're trying to do is, a better customer experience. Amazon is not known, I mean, it's got all the services and it's a good customer experience, but it's certainly cluttered. It's not, the most attractive shopping environment. And as you were saying, Wes, it's a different audience. These are retail people doing omni-channel shopping and all that kind of stuff. And if you look at that report, it's interesting because it, again, instead of focusing on attributes, it says, this is the issue with the title. And this is the issue, with your main image. And this, it really breaks the listing down, which I thought is, it shows where their focus is. And I think that one of the biggest things that I noticed looking at that is the product detail page template on Walmart is fairly different. The bullets are significantly further down, and the alternate images are a lot more prominent. And so, although we always work with clients on the importance of the alternate images and the infographic treatment of alternate images for Amazon, to me, although, as Steve said, yes, the indexing on Walmart is going to be different and how they look at the title and all that. But I think the alt images are among the most important things, that it's just not necessarily enough to import them over from Amazon, because if you haven't done a superb job on Amazon, I don't think it's going to be enough on Walmart, because again, you're not going to see the bullets.
That's our most common, in my opinion, the most common mistake when people sell on Walmart. They do a lift and shift. They take what's on Amazon, put it on Walmart, using the same titles, same bullet points, same imagery, everything. And they don't realize that the way Amazon or the way Walmart lays out their product detail page, it intentionally skews things of different importance. Like you said, the images are so important. You don't even get to any content before they see all your competitors, shown in a row of you might also like. It's pretty crazy. It's really, and especially on mobile, I mean, it's super important to have that. And they also have buy buttons on some products right from the family page, right from the search result page, where they may never click in and see content, but they're able to make a purchase, something simple like a yoga mat, for example. The images need to tell the story.
I'll chime in too and say that now this was a while back. Okay, so this was prior to the first API change for advertising and all that. However, if I just wanted to put this out there, because if there's some sellers that are trying to get onto Walmart and they're working hard to do the right things and get out there and get indexed, and they're not having success. We had a client that they have a huge catalog on Amazon. We were moving it into Walmart, and we weren't being indexed. We just weren't being found anywhere on the search result page. And so we contacted our contacts at Walmart, and back then that wasn't the easiest thing to do, but we did contact them, and come to find out there was a lever somewhere on the back end of Walmart that even that we had done support tickets, the support staff hadn't fixed it yet. They had to go in and manually make some changes. So there's a good example of, think outside the box and don't just give up, reach out and do things in a proper, or not a proper way, but, really engage with Walmart. But second, once we got the indexing working, look at the Walmart search result page, type in, some of your top, keyword phrases and see what's coming up, because it's interesting to see how Walmart is ranking things by title. And we made some very slight changes to our titles, and our index from 1 week to the next week jumped 4 or 5 pages up, and we were able to jump to the top of pages for terms just by making some slight changes. And back then we didn't even have access to Helium 10 to know what the search volume approximately was on Walmart. So now that we've got that kind of data, we're making those incremental changes there, and it's having incredible results on Walmart.
Great.
Yeah, I would say, that was a good example right there where listing quality score can be refined. So whatever it is now, it may not be correct. You might have to submit a case to Amazon or Walmart's. I'm so used to
I
saying
know, I
Amazon.
do all the time.
Keep rattling that off. So you may have to have Walmart make an exception for their listing quality score based on what it thinks you should conform to, but you shouldn't, because it's not what's
Exactly.
best. And you also can actually see almost in real time, I made this change and my listing quality score went up.
Yes.
Keep tweaking, keep making changes, and get that score higher, because that is such a big part of their algorithms ranking, and they're constantly changing what they find most important, and what fields they want filled in, how they want them filled in. Really spend a lot of time on that. It's a differentiating factor for sure.
Also, when you're new to Walmart, I mean, it's not Amazon. The volumes are very different. Again, it doesn't mean it's not a great opportunity, but it's like anything else. It's not been around for 20 some years focusing on this, and so we've got with one client where we've recently moved them from Amazon, and now we're adding them strategically to Walmart. We start to look at the first few weeks, and you'd look at like the order volume or the revenue, and you would look at it initially, you'd look at the numbers and be like, why bother? But then my comment to the client was, wait a minute, let's look at this same product, and what did we do per week on Amazon when we started 3 years ago? And
Good
all of
call
a
out.
sudden you realize this is actually not that bad. So don't just keep things in perspective. Don't just compare the absolute numbers and think, oh, this is a waste of effort, because again, you didn't get to where you are on Amazon in a week.
Yeah.
And remember, there's less sellers. It's like 1/6 of the sellers, but 60% of the traffic. So it's really a matter of how if someone's searching for my particular category, even if there's lower volume, I want to be the dominant brand. I want to be the one that's capturing all those reviews. I want to be the one that's proving out to Walmart all of this history. So when Walmart continues to ramp up their sales, you're already well positioned to be a leader in your category, not someone that's now late to the game and has to fight tooth and nail just to get reviews, because everyone else is so far ahead of you that it's hard to catch up. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.